Leonard Leo is the executive vice president of the Federalist Society. That's a group of conservative lawyers who want judges to interpret the law as it was written. He advises President Trump on judicial nominations and spoke to the president yesterday following the announcement of Justice Kennedy's retirement. Hello, Leonard Leo.
Good morning.
To see you.
Good morning.
Do you want to share what you spoke with the president about yesterday? What did you talk about?
Well, the president mainly talked about the great meeting he had with Justice Kennedy and how gracious the justice was and how much the president respects the many years of service that Justice Kennedy had.
Can you share with us how this list came about and how you decide who should make the list?
Well, the list was the president's idea. He actually called and asked to meet and suggested the idea of doing a list. It was a novel idea. I told him that no one had ever done it before, but it was an interesting idea because it would tell people where the president stood on the issue of judicial selection. And so he went ahead and decided to do the list.
What did he say he was looking for?
Well, he was looking for three things. One, extraordinarily well qualified. Two, people who were, in his words, not weak. And thirdly, people who are going to interpret the Constitution the way the framers meant it to be, which is the way he put it, which I thought was an interesting way to do it.
You're being humble, Leonard, but you have really been credited, along with the Federalist Society, of being involved in really the picks for the last three Supreme Court justices, Roberts, the Chief, Alito, and Gorsuch. Would you say that that's true?
Well, presidents always make these choices,
yes.
But there's no question that there's been a long-standing movement in the United States to appoint judges to the court who are going to interpret the law as it's written, and I'm a part of that, certainly.
Three conservatives on the court. Let me read this. This has been said about you. Quote, "No one has been more dedicated to the enterprise of building a Supreme Court that will overturn Roe v. Wade than the Federalist Society's Leonard Leo." Do you believe with this pick, replacing Kennedy could finally be the nail in the coffin of abortion rights?
Roe v. Wade has been a scare tactic that's gone back 36 years, all the way back to Justice Sandra O'Connor's nomination to the court. And, you know, nothing has happened to Roe in that period of time. And for me, it's not about Roe v. Wade. For constitutional conservatives, that's not what it's about. It's about interpreting the Constitution as it's written and basically interpreting the limits on government power, because that's really the way to preserve human dignity in our country.
I hear you, but should we be worried about Roe v. Wade going away?
I don't think people should be worried about Roe v. Wade or any other particular case. I think they should be worried about having judges who are really going to interpret the law as it's written and going to understand that the culture and the political process need to make big decisions in our society.
But were you upset that Justice Kennedy, a Republican, had sided with liberal members of the court when it came to limits on abortion rights?
I was personally disappointed with that, but the fact of the matter is that Justice Kennedy has been a very important conservative member of the court on many very key issues, Obamacare, gun rights, Citizens United, and in many of those instances, I think he understood that the Constitution needed to be interpreted as it's written. So, you know, he parted company with conservatives on a few key areas, but he understands the importance of the Constitution and the way it's written.
The President, though, did say in a debate that he wanted to pick someone who would eliminate Roe v. Wade, which is why people are a little nervous. Some people are a little nervous about it.
Well, for those of us,
some conservatives are happy about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, for those of us who've been in this business a long time, it's not about overturning particular cases. It's really about making sure you get the Constitution right. You go wherever the words take you.
Is there a leading contender for you?
No, there's not.
Really not?
No, the list is really good.
They're not in order? You're just saying
No,
anyone?
no. You can throw a dart at that list, and in my view, you'd be fine.
Leonard, I hope you will come back. We appreciate you being here.